In procurement, two essential actions can make all the difference: getting a boarding pass and grabbing a coffee. These may sound simple, but as metaphors, they represent something far deeper and far more critical to the role of a successful procurement professional. They are about taking the time to understand how suppliers create value for your company and, just as importantly, how your own company delivers value to its customers. Over the past 30 years, I've noticed something interesting about procurement teams across various industries, whether in manufacturing or services, global corporations, or small to medium enterprises. Procurement professionals often spend most of their time at their desks, focusing on spreadsheets, article numbers, and price negotiations. While that's essential work, it rarely provides a true understanding of how suppliers create value for the company. That's where the concept of getting a boarding pass comes in. By getting a boarding pass, I mean physically visiting suppliers to see the operations firsthand. There's no substitute for being on-site and observing the supplier's processes, especially when it comes to understanding where value is created and, just as importantly, where inefficiencies might be hiding. But historically, there have been several barriers. In the past, price reductions were common without having to leave the office, and budget constraints meant that supplier visits could appear unnecessary or even frivolous. Then, of course, there was the pandemic, which put a halt to most business travel altogether. But now, it's high time to catch up. Getting out to suppliers and seeing what they are doing doesn't just open your eyes to their value creation processes. It also allows you to spot opportunities for improvement. By observing how different suppliers operate, you can apply best practices across your entire supplier base. However, it's essential to approach this carefully. In some industries, clusters of suppliers often follow similar practices, which can lead to industry-wide issues. I've found that bringing in insights from other sectors can be incredibly valuable. Asking yourselves questions like, how would Toyota produce this part, can inspire new approaches, particularly in manufacturing. And when you help suppliers identify and implement improvements, you're opening the door to a more collaborative relationship. The result can be significant savings, improved processes, and even greater supplier loyalty. So think of that boarding pass as an entry into a deeper level of engagement with your suppliers, a chance to build a relationship that goes beyond the usual transactions. Equally important is the metaphor of grabbing a coffee. This is about understanding how your own company delivers value to its customers. In my experience, procurement professionals often find themselves in a situation where they're essentially buying part numbers without really knowing what lies beneath. This lack of understanding can lead to a misunderstanding between what's bought and what actually delivers value to the end customer. Grabbing a coffee represents a simple but effective approach. Sitting down with your company's engineers, marketing teams, or other internal stakeholders to truly understand the products and services you are buying. It's about going beyond the specifications to ask questions like, how does this contribute to customer satisfaction? And is there a way to optimize this without compromising quality? One way to start building this understanding is through curiosity-driven conversations with colleagues. If there's a component you're buying, ask an engineer or a product designer to explain it in detail. Find out how it works, why it's specified the way it is, and whether there might be room for improvement. Sometimes, just knowing what goes into a product can spark ideas for cost savings and quality enhancements that benefit both the company and the supplier. When you're deeply familiar with the way your company creates value, you're in a better position to challenge specifications that may be overly complex or costly. Products with redundant or overly intricate components are a classic example of overspecification, which leads to unnecessary cost. By working with suppliers to relax or optimize these specifications, you can create win-win situations that allow the supplier to pass along cost savings without eroding their profit margins. The true power of getting a boarding pass and grabbing a coffee lies in combining both approaches. High knowledge about how suppliers create value lets you spot improvement opportunities on their end. And high knowledge of how your company creates value lets you optimize what you're asking for. Procurement teams who take the time to work on the production line at the supplier's facility, or who sit down regularly with internal teams to understand the details of their products, bring a new level of insight to their work. They are not just order takers, they are value creators. And this shift in mindset can lead to significant performance improvements for both the company and its suppliers. I have encouraged clients to implement these strategies, and the results have been remarkable. Procurement teams who take the time to work on the production line at the supplier's facility, or sit down regularly with internal teams to understand the details of the products, bring a new level of insight to their work. They are not just order takers, they are value creators, and this shift in mindset can lead to significant performance improvements for both the company and its suppliers. So if you're in procurement and haven't yet gotten your boarding pass or grabbed a coffee, I encourage you to make these metaphors reality. Find ways to connect with your suppliers on the ground and with your internal stakeholders over a coffee. The insights you gain will be invaluable, and they'll make you a far more effective partner in delivering value both for your company and for your customers. Thank you for joining me today. I am Schuh, and this has been Procurement in the Park. Stay tuned for more insights on how to build a successful career in procurement.